Hi everyone, it's Lenny again. um, I've been trying to think of like what else I could talk about, and even though there's like quite a lot of stuff, like maybe with the time I had in the hospital, or more about mental health, more about like the weight loss and stuff, and maybe the future stuff and the plans, but I kind of wanted to just go over the last couple of weeks because the last couple of weeks have been amazing, like really amazing. So as I said to you before, my mental health kept us sort of in the house, and I was terrified of going out. Didn't want to be seen. I was ashamed of the way I looked and who I was and everything, really, like to the point that I didn't even answer the door. And like I said, that went on for years. Oh, losing my voice. And I think sort of the last few weeks, obviously since I got in the wheelchair, I've actually had the wheelchair about a year, but I only had the hoist put in at the back end January, and then I only got the sling for the hoist in May. So it's been kind of a bit of a waiting game to be able to get outside again. And I started off just by going sort of round the block, as it were, around the doors. And I was a bit nervous. I remember sort of on my first go around, I saw someone in a van sort of go past, and I kind of like froze for a second. I was like, oh my god, there's someone in a van. But and then I thought, what are you worried for? You know what I mean? Just get on with you. So I did, and that first time of going out by myself, I hadn't been out by myself in probably over 10 years, and it was just amazing to do that kind of thing. I was with my OT, my occupational therapist at the time, when she waited at my house actually, and I just went round and came back, and obviously I was beaming, and she was like, how was that? And I just burst into tears because just having the sun on your face and the breeze and wind in your hair, and you just don't realise how much your freedom and your independence is worth, and I certainly didn't before, with the issues I had, and obviously since then I've been building up my sitting tolerance, because when I first sat I could only sit for about 10 minutes, and then I'd start to get really lightheaded and the shakes and things, and my feet would itch. I don't know why that happens, but they get itchy and stingy. Must be just the blood rush back into them, I guess. So we carried on with that, and I built up, so I got to about an hour and 20 minutes, and then I went to the park with my daughter, realised I was okay after, and I didn't have the issues, but just to be able to go out with the dog, because I hadn't been out with the dog, and I mean, he's nearly 5, so to be able to take her and go to the park, it's just amazing. And then it kind of made us a bit more braver, I think. So we went to B&M. I've never been to B&M. So that was last Tuesday or Monday. Monday, I think. Yeah, last Monday. So I went to B&M, and I hadn't being in such a confined space with a lot of people for a long time kind of thing, and also being in the wheelchair, it is bigger than standard. A little bit of worry of like thinking, oh, I'm gonna knock everything over, you know, like just ram into some sort of display that they've done. Accidentally obviously, but although it does sound like fun actually. Probably not something hard though, like toilet rolls or something. I ram into a load of them, like foam wall or something. But yeah, so we went in, and I just didn't know where to look. My eyes were all over, like it was such a sensory overload. I hadn't been in a shop for over 12 years, and I'd never been in B&M, and I always like hear about it and how great it is and how everyone goes there, and they've spent like, I went in for like some sponges and I spent £50, you know what I mean, and you're like, and it just seemed like something I needed to do, so I did go in and spend £50, and I needed some throws and a doormat, and came back with none of those, but yeah, it was really good. I kept apologising though, because I was like, I felt like I was in the way, but all those baskets to have in the aisles, which weren't helpful, I suppose, but going down, and I was like, oh sorry all the time, and I like thinking I'm in the way. I even apologised to someone when she knocked something over, and I was just in the same aisle, I wasn't anywhere near it, she knocked it over, and I went, oh sorry. And I think I was just getting that used to it. We didn't even have time to go round the whole of it, it was massive. And the dog got the most treats out of everyone. I don't even think I bought myself anything, to be honest. I got like a shower caddy for the bathroom. The dog got some treats, the kids got some socks, and the rest of it I can't even remember. So so it was just amazing though, to be able to sort of go back into a shop and not be concerned really with what people think anymore, which is great. You know, like apart from those that I care about and things like that, who are all my, like friends and family, what everyone else thinks, I'm not bothered. You know, when we were coming back, I remember I was going over like the metro bridge on my way back, and this guy, he was just staying on us, and he literally just followed us all the way up the bridge, like just watched all the way across, and I thought, okay, at first, and I kind of looked at him, and then when I looked at him, he went, oh, like as if I realise I'm staring kind of thing. And then thinking about it, I just thought, do you know what, yeah, I know people's going to stare, it's just, people do, it's one of them things, you know, you do look at things that don't look what I don't know, what's classed as normal, I suppose, but I don't believe anyone has the right to say anything. He didn't obviously, and I think now I kind of think, well, you know, he'd have just moved on, thought about something else, and it never crossed his mind again. And to be honest, it's the same really. It's like same for me. People might stare, but then I'm forgotten, and they get on with their life, and I might notice it for a second at the time, and then I just get on with mine, because, you know, I've got other things to think about and shopping to do now, so so realising that I could sit, no, I actually sat for an hour and 40 minutes that day, and yeah, I was aching a bit, but I didn't get any like funny turn, I didn't feel lightheaded or anything like that, so I thought to myself, it's half an hour to get to my mum and dad's, and it's half an hour back. 40 minutes with them is better than nothing, and I hadn't seen them for a year and 2 months. And when I last seen them, they came to me. But obviously, they're getting on a bit, and my dad's 84 now, my mum's 74. My mum's got mobility issues and dementia, and my dad's got sight issues and hearing issues, and so obviously I wanted to get to see them, and I speak to them every day, and I FaceTime them at least weekly usually, when either my brother, sister, or my daughter's there. But it's just not the same. It's not the same as seeing them, giving them a hug, and just, they're amazing people, and so I just thought to myself, you know what, why can't I go and see them? And I'd been waiting until I got to this 2 hour sort of, wait until I can sit for 2 hours, and when I can sit for 2 hours I'll go and see them. And then I'm like, why? 40 minutes is better than nothing. So on this Thursday I made arrangements with my sister and my daughter to go down and go and see them, and obviously I decided to surprise them because I just thought it would be good. So I can't get in their building. I can't get to their room itself, to their flat, because one of the doorways isn't very wide, and with the legs on my wheelchair it won't go through. So there's like a community room, so I went there. On the way down, I'd never gone that far, I'd never been 30 minutes away, and you do sometimes, like have that kind of second thought of like, oh my god, what if my wheelchair decides to just conk out somewhere? But I can't let it stop us. I've just got to get on with it. If it ever did happen, and it would be a rare thing, I would assume, I'd have to just deal with it at the time. I can't let it stop us, type of thing. So we left here. It did take half an hour. The travelling there wasn't too bad. I mean, the one thing with being in the wheelchair that I didn't realise is the state of like the paths and stuff. Because when you walk and you don't notice that. I never noticed before, but it's literally like being on a mini roller coaster everywhere. The paths and the pavements are so bad. And then also you're looking for drop downs, for like the curbs being dropped in things, and some of the angles of those are really high, and some of them are like there's still quite a drop off the curb. It's not flat to the road type of thing. So it's finding like the best way to go on it, and these are things that I've never thought of before and never thought would be an issue. And then you've got like some people who park right across the path, so I can't get past, and even a standard buggy wouldn't get down. So it's not just the fact that my wheelchair's a bit wider, it's literally like even someone with a pushchair wouldn't get round, and it's quite inconsiderate really, of people that they do that, and they don't think of those things. But I mean, a lot of them I didn't think of, to be honest. I mean, I would have thought of that one, I would hope, but I wouldn't have thought about the state of the path or the drop down of the curbs and things, or even like just someone dropping something. Like I've had like big sticks kind of right in the middle of the path, and not being able to get past. Or I have gotten past because I've just had to go over it, and it's a bit sort of a bit bumpy, but so anyway, we the journey there wasn't too bad. Like I said, I was a bit anxious because I think not going somewhere you haven't been, and especially in like a wheelchair, it's a bit daunting. So we got there and we went into the community room, and I sort of hid round the corner a little bit, And then my sister pushed my mum in and brought my dad in, and I don't think they seen us at first until I spoke. And I just said hello like that. And then my mum's face, she just looked so surprised. They both really weren't expecting it. It was just lovely to be able to sort of give them a hug and a kiss and stuff, and spend a little bit of time with them, and although it was a little bit of time, but it was just so amazing. And my mum just kept referring to the fact that I can't believe you're here, you know. She said, you wouldn't even answer the door. I can't believe you're here. So, and I know that my sister said after I left that they were both just over the moon, and my mum kept saying that she kept seeing my little face. Bless her. And my dad was just like, I can't believe she came. I can't believe it. So I'm gonna obviously keep going to see them, which it's great to be able to say I can do that now. And I'm just, it was one of the big things that I really wanted to do. With going out, it was the major one, you know, to visit them, to go to them. I'm still buzzing. And obviously I'm going to now do it more often. So I did the same. Was there about an hour. It sat for about an hour and 40 minutes. Came back. Ached a little bit, but I was fine. And just smiled forever. And then the rest of the days I just sort of buzzed about round the doors, and just on the Tuesday. So what day are we on now? Thursday. It's Thursday today. So on Tuesday just gone, I decided to go to Tesco, and there's a huge Tesco right beside me. It's 10 minutes away. And I hadn't been in a Tesco in well over 12 years. I was a little bit anxious because there's a lift in it, and I was a bit worried that I'd fit in it, and you know, being the weight and all that sort of thing, which I was miles in, and obviously, you know, even with the wheelchair, and the wheelchair weighs quite a bit, I reckon. But I've never been a fan of lifts anyway, but I just thought, no, you've got to do this. So I went with my daughter, went in, and the lift wasn't too bad. It was it's that kind of thing where it goes so fast that your stomach ends up on the ceiling, and by the time you stop, and then you have to sort of bring it back down, and you get like, ugh. Well, this for me, maybe it's just me thing with lifts, I don't know. But I also bumped into my cousin, which was lovely, so I had a little bit of chat with her. And then I bumped into a physio from the hospital, when I was in hospital, so she was really nice, and she said, so I was looking great and looking well, and it was great to see us out and stuff, which it's great to be out, actually, really is. I never thought I'd say that, but it truly is. So we went round the supermarket, and it was fab in there because it was so spacious, and all the aisles were really wide, so I didn't have to apologise. I didn't feel like I needed to, because I wasn't in the way of anyone. So it was really, really great. Plus it was so smooth, you know, being outside and then just being able to go smooth. So when we were going round, if the aisle was empty, I was putting it on full speed to speed down. And my daughter was just going like that, rolling her eyes, but it was cool actually. I didn't knock anyone over, so that's good. But just being able to get a few things off the shelves myself and stuff like was cool. And there's a cafe in there, so I can like meet friends and stuff for a cuppa or whatever, and it's all fine. It's easy to access for me, so it's just plans for the future, I guess. But it was great. Spent £77, but it was like mostly on shopping. In fact, I think it all was on shopping really, because we decided to just get the shop then when we were there, which meant that because we did the shop, my daughter had to get a taxi back because there's just no way she could carry it. And although I bought one of those like the bag things for the what you use for prams, well, when I was younger it was just like a piece of plastic that was sort of that shape, like that shape, that'd be better. Like, and then you pushed it on, and that and then you put the bags on, you hook the bags on each side. But now they're like it's like a D-ring type of thing. So I got one of them for the wheelchair, for if like I was out and could like use it for to carry the bags. But because we bought so much, there's just no way. I think it would have all fit. I mean, there was four bottles of water, I think, let alone, and then a massive bottle of comfort and God knows what else. But so my daughter had to get a taxi back, and like it's not far away from me to come home, but I'd never crossed the big road by myself. The big road, and saying that, it sounds really weird, doesn't it? But it's a busy road. It's got like a crossing and then a centre crossing and then another crossing, and it's it's quite daunting. And I was fine with coming back, and I knew I have to do that sort of thing eventually, and I can't rely on my daughter all the time. Like it's not fair. So I was fine, like I said, but when I got to the road, I didn't realise that I have to like go a bit further, like to be able to press the button. So I have to pass the bit you cross, if that makes sense. And also because when you go to like crossroads and where the road dips like that, the path dips, sorry, it's like being slightly on an angle, and I always worry that I'm just going to tip over. I mean, I've never, obviously, but it's strange. But I did it. It was fine. And then I got back, actually beat my daughter back home. And I actually did 2 hours. I sat for 2 hours, so I ate so bad afterwards. And the next day I couldn't even get, like, I couldn't move. I was so stiff. So I didn't, apart from sort of sitting in the wheelchair for a few minutes yesterday, I didn't actually do any sitting tolerance. Because I was still aching so much off the Tuesday. But again, it's just phenomenal to be outside and do all those things that I guess is normal, really, if anything is normal in this world. But it's just, like I said, and it's a bit independence, a bit freedom, a bit of doing things for myself, because obviously I have to rely on people a lot. I have carers and things, so it's not the nicest of things, but I've just gotta, like, can I get over that? So yeah, and so yesterday I was sitting thinking, and it made us think about sort of life the universe, everything. No, but it made us think about, since I got the wheelchair, well, not since I got the wheelchair because I've had it ages, but since I started going in the wheelchair properly every day, so since the 23rd of May, it's about 142 days now, because I'm 141 days now. Anyway, and out of all those days, I've at least gone outside 125 of them. And considering that I only went outside about 30 days in 10 years prior to that, is big difference, really big difference. And it sometimes makes us a little bit sad to think that all that time's been wasted, and I wasted all that time. And those times that I went out before, it'll have been an appointment, so it'll have been a hospital. But I can't dwell on what's happened. I can't, because I can't do anything about it, and I can't change it. I've changed it to make it better now, but I can't change the past. I can't fix it. It's gone. You know, that time's gone, and that no amount of sitting being sad about it will ever change that, and no amount of wishing or hoping will ever change that, or thinking, oh, if only you'd fixed this sooner, if only I'd got help sooner, if only I'd realised there was something wrong sooner. Doesn't make it, no, it doesn't help, really doesn't help. And sometimes, you know, every now and then it catches us out. I hear that sort of, oh, you know, if only, but I just usually tell myself to shut up, which I do quite a bit. And I just sort of move forward and think to what's to come. And plus, had I not gone through what I've gone through, I wouldn't know a lot of the people I've met, because I wouldn't have been in the situation that I was in, and so I wouldn't have been online a lot, and I've met some great people because of it. So there's always a positive, and you know, I'm thankful for that. So it's about going forward, and being human. It's normal to sometimes think back, but you can't stay there. You can't change it, and if you can't change it, you've got to move forward. You've got to accept it and move forward, because it's never going to make any difference, and it's such a waste of energy to dwell on it, really. So it's all about moving forward, and that's what I'm going to do, and that's what I'm going to keep doing. I'm going to keep trying to lose weight, and I'm going to keep no, I'll rephrase that. I'm going to keep losing weight, and I'm just going to keep trying to be better and do better in whichever way and whatever outcome. And even if I never walk again, which I hopefully will in the future when they replace my knees, but even if I never do, there's still loads of stuff in life that's good, you know, and it's just about appreciating it, I guess. And I appreciate things so much more now than I ever did beforehand. So yeah, it's good. So next week I'm planning on going to the park again this week, and then next week I am going to Poundland. I think it's Poundland, or the Pound Shop, or whatever. And then I'm going to my parents again, so that'll be good. I'd love to do a car boot or a charity shop, but unfortunately none of them are close enough. And I'm not really sure whether I could get used transport, like I know there's taxis and things that are adapted for wheelchairs, but because mine's more, or because Meccano, the electric one, the reason I call it Meccano, by the way, is because it literally looks like 50 million nuts and bolts. I know, naming inanimate objects, but I'm 44 going on 12, but never mind. I think I totally lost track now. Do that all the time, don't I? But no, totally lost whatever I was talking about. But anyway, who needs to know? Oh, about going out, was it? Yeah. So just keep planning things. Yeah, going to car boots, that's what it was. And the taxis, and whether I could actually use one or not, but I'm not really sure, because I'm assuming they have like weight limits, and the wheelchair in itself is rock solid. It's got a huge like battery pack thing, and it's just, I mean, it has to be really, but you know, and I do have a manual one, like one someone has to push, but that wouldn't be a fun job for anyone. But also, I'm not really sure again whether it's something I can do, and I need to look into it, because it will be good then, because I could go into town, or I can go further afield and things, which I really want to go to the beach, and I actually don't live that far from the beach. It's probably about 40 minutes away, so it's probably one of my aims before it gets too cold. It's pretty cold today over here, so before it gets too cold, that'll be good. Yeah. So that's it, I think. I hope, I don't know what I hope. No, I hope that makes you, I don't know, no. What do you say? God, I'm not really good at like starting these things or ending them. Like, in fact, I'm doing this without makeup on, which is like, wow, but because normally I would put makeup on, and then and I really need some sort of hairstyle, because this is just not working right at the minute. But and I'm starting to get a few more greys now, but I just I've never, like, I prefer it long, because it feels like it's comfort, and I've got like me nightie on with my little pandas. Look, that's cute. Got that for my birthday. Anyway, I'll stop waffling and just go, shall I?